What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Today we are back playing some Ryobi Cup, some one-day 50-over comp in Australia. Tasmania taking on the Queensland Bulls, and I didn't actually think that I was going to get a run in the domestic side anytime soon, so it was a nice surprise when I did get it. I went through, did the batting earlier because I thought I was going to go and actually have some international gameplay or maybe some T20 gameplay to show you guys today, but things didn't really work out like that, so we are here in the 50-over Cup, and we had a quick cheeky bat. As I said beforehand, I wasn't going to record the batting because I did do it earlier, and the bowling was the thing I was going to do, but made 21 off 7, went for a big slap, kind of came off, and then we just basically played off the wrong foot for one, which was a wee bit of a disappointment. But you know, I'm really happy to be back here playing domestic cricket for Tasmania, where things, you know, this is where things started. This is where they all began, and I think it's actually around 2 years since this game was actually fully released. So that's really cool that, you know, the content is still going after all that time. But enough about that. I guess the thing I did talk about last week in one of last week's episodes, I think it was possibly Friday's or maybe Wednesday's episode, is that the IPL is back. Now, we have had 2 games. Last night, I believe it was the Delhi Daredevils, a fairly new look Delhi side. I think they've gone and drafted in a lot of youth, and it didn't really, I guess, pay off for them. Was it Delhi or was it someone else? I can't remember. But one of the teams is drafting a lot of youth. I'm pretty sure I remember reading somewhere it was the Delhi Daredevils. But things didn't really work out for them. I think they were all out for 98 against KKR. I think, from memory, Andre Russell was one of the big contributors to that. I think he had 3 for 24 off 3 overs possibly. Brad Hogg chimed in as well, and there were just wickets to most of the bowlers, I guess. If you're bowling a side out for as little as 98 in a T20, everyone's going to have to bowl pretty well, and that was the case. Chased it down pretty easily with about, I think, chased it down with about 5 and a bit overs left to go, and there was 9 wickets left in the bank. So a very good win from Kolkata. And then the first game, the opening game of the tournament, was another game that was a bit of a landslide. And I'm hoping that the tournament doesn't end up like that, because I think the IPL is good when it's tight and close and everyone can beat anyone. And that hasn't really been the case in these first 2 games that we have had so far. It has been, as I said, a landslide. The new team, well, one of the new teams, I should say, the Pune Rising Supergiants, or the Rising Supergiants Pune, whatever you want to call them, they picked up their first win. They've got a bit of a star-studded side, and, you know, I like their side. You know, I think Pune is going to be the team. Obviously, a huge Pune Warriors fan, I am, so, you know, it makes sense to support a team that comes from Pune, I guess you'd say. But really going and getting the job done. Again, bowling, I'm trying to think who they played. Mumbai Indians, I think, again, bowling them out for around 100 runs, and it was a pretty easy chase. Again, just the 1 wicket down. Faf du Plessis, Gambia, and KP Peterson, obviously scoring the runs there for them. I think Peterson had a 21 ball, a 14 ball 21. I don't know how I got them mixed up, but we did. But anyway, let's keep moving on, and let's just ignore that. But speaking of Kevin Peterson, and this is something that I didn't really plan to talk about, but I guess because we have brought him up in the game, we will go and talk about him here. Now, there has been a lot of talk, obviously, since Peterson was controversially dropped from the Ashes in, I think it was 2013, 2014. When England, I think, lost. I think they possibly may have even got whitewashed or something like that. But England's all-time leading run scorer didn't get picked again, and there was obviously something going on between, you know, the England Cricket Board and himself. And I think Andrew Strauss has now been named, is he the head selector, or is something to do with the selection committee? And he's basically come out and said, you know, that Peterson basically won't be reconsidered for the national side. He won't be reconsidered for the English national side. Which, you know, is a bit of a shame, obviously, leading run scorer, and at times, I guess they could use him. But England have gone, you know, with this new philosophy and making the World T20 final. You know, same thing, I guess, as Delhi a little bit. They've gone and brought in, obviously, all these young players, you know, all these explosive players. And, you know, it has worked for them, I guess, in limited overs cricket. We'll have to wait and see how it goes in Test cricket, because it has been, it seems like forever since there's been any Test cricket around the world whatsoever. So it will be interesting to see what happens there, but we will, as I said, just have to wait and see what happens. But Basically Strauss has said, Peterson, you're not coming back into the national side. So Peterson has gone, and the rumours are going around that I think it's 2017, 2018, he will be eligible to play for another nation. And there were rumours going around. I'm not 100% sure how true these are, and they were basically just from word of mouth. But there was a rumour going around he was potentially going to make an international comeback with Zimbabwe. But now it seems he is going to make an international comeback with his country of birth, South Africa. And so, as I said, that is still in 2 years. He will be 37 or 38. 36 or 37, because he's 35 at the moment. So, he probably still could play maybe for a year or something like that. Whether South Africa will go for him is another question. I mean, it's a bit hard as to where he would fit into the side, I guess you would say, because they already do have a fairly decent, I would say, test batting side and one-day side as well. It would be very hard to go and fit him in, especially seeing he is an ageing player. He would only have a season or two in him, I would say, before he would have to go and retire, obviously, retire from maybe one or two forms of the game. But it is very interesting. I think there was something going around that possibly he was looking at playing for Australia as well. Again, I don't know how true those rumours are. I just saw them on Facebook. I think it was last night. He has played quite a few years for, the Melbourne Stars. I think he's possibly coming up on his 4th year for the side. I don't know if that can be considered, like if you can be considered for residency just playing in a T20 league. It's a bit different with South Africa because it is his country of birth. Similar to Luke Ronchi. Luke Ronchi didn't give up on the Australian national side, but basically he wasn't going to go and get in there. Had New Zealand blood, so I think he came over and played, I think it was maybe 2 seasons over here. I don't think he'd been considered for the Australian national team for 2 years prior to that, which I think is why it's a 2-year period. I'm not 100% sure how this all works. I don't work for the ICC. I don't know in depth about their rules and regulations and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure he played 2 years. It could have been 4 years, and then obviously was eligible for selection for the New Zealand national team because obviously of his New Zealand blood. He could go back and play this. So I think it would be a bit of a different story. Imran Tahir, I think, is a different prospect altogether. He went over and played for South Africa in the South African competition for 4 years, and then basically, 4 years since he had been considered for the Pakistan side, or the 4 years since he had played for the Pakistani side, we should say, and then was able to grab residency for South Africa. So it is all a little bit confusing, and if you're not really too sure what's going on, like myself, it can sound confusing. And I guess if I sat down and I was like, this is how you do it, then it would have probably been easier to go and explain it. But that is basically, I've gone and yarned on about that for about half an episode, which isn't too bad. And it's not just football that this happens in. I mean, it happens in did I say football or cricket? It's not just cricket it happens in. It has happened in football as well. Like, I know Andrew Durante didn't really last too long, but a player who probably was not going to make the Australian national football side played for the Phoenix. I think he's played for the Phoenix for a long time, been the captain. After 5 years, I think it was, of not being considered for the national team, applied for New Zealand residency, and was able to become an all-white. And obviously, I would say our defence probably is a little bit of our weak suit when it comes to New Zealand football. So basically he was snapped up straight away. As soon as he was eligible, it was like, yep, you're in. Join the team, you're on the bus. But that is it. So I think I've actually now run out of things to talk about. We've talked about, obviously, the IPL. There's no international cricket going on at the moment. We've talked about Kevin Peterson. We've talked about the player nationality debate, shall we say. And that's it, really. I don't really have anything else to go on. I'm stuck, and we haven't picked up any wickets either. That would have made things easier to talk about if we picked up some wickets, but we haven't as yet. And we just seem... It's not that we struggle to take wickets, but we just don't seem to be taking them with the regularity that we have in the past. And I think that comes down to the patch. And I've said that time and time again. I think since the patch has come in, it has, for me personally, I feel as though it has made batting easier, but it hasn't made bowling more difficult, but it's made the AI smarter, and they won't go and do those stupid little shots that you are used to seeing, those little drives down the ground that will go straight to your guy at mid-on and mid-off. I remember when the game first came out, And you could almost guarantee, basically once every couple of overs, that they would go for a lofted drive down the ground, miss time, it would go straight to your mid-on and your mid-off, and they would catch it, you know, basically 99 times out of 100. But that has changed. And now it is a lot harder to pick up wickets. I'd probably say now, a lot more of my wickets would come from runouts, just because I think you really do need to go and mix it up with the bowling. And I think, again, I went on about this. I seem to go on about the same thing time and time again. I think I went on about this on Friday's video, that, you know, to take the wickets, you probably should be mixing it up. You know, bowling, at the moment I'm bowling majority of in-swingers. So should be bowling in-swingers, and then, you know, chuck in a couple of out-swingers in there as well, just to, you know, keep the batsman guessing and possibly draw the outside edge. But the way I play this game, I'm trying to get my skills all up first, and then we can go and obviously work on that. Because we got so many wickets earlier on, I guess, in our career, it's not too much of a concern if we don't go and pick up wickets, if our average goes up a little bit, because it is already very good. So, saying that, the Bulls do need 84 off just 42 deliveries. So, you know, I don't mind if they're going and picking up singles here. Twos I mind, because that means that they are keeping up with the required run rate. Required run rate 12 at the moment going into the last 7. And I'm not sure, I don't know. I was going to say, I'm not sure why there wasn't a man sweeping out on the boundary there, but we do have the correct field in place. Did that take an edge? That must have taken an edge. Finally we get one. We get something to celebrate. We've got Chris Lynn, who I think it was his birthday yesterday. Don't think he played for the Knight Riders. I'm not 100% sure. Remember, I did only see 3 batters, and I think there's about 6 bowlers used, but I didn't see all the bowlers. I just know Andre Russell did get a bowl. I think Colin Munro got a bowl as well, which is a little bit of a surprise. But Colin Munro is one of those guys that, when it comes to T20, he's actually not too bad of a part-time bowler. You know, if he gets it right and it's on the right track, he can do a little bit of damage. And I think he's not a little bit underused by the New Zealand side, because I think when you go and play internationals, obviously he's not being selected as a guy who's going to bat and maybe bowl you 1 or 2 overs in a game. He's a guy who's in there, he's our power hitter. He should be in there to score fast runs like Brendan McCullum did. But I think, you know, when it comes to franchise T20 or even domestic T20, you can possibly go, and if you're in the situation where, you know, you need a wicket or things are going pretty well for you when it comes to run rate wise, you know, you can give him a bowl, and if you give him a bowl, he may potentially come up and get you a wicket like we've done here. 2 wickets in the over. It has been pretty anticlimactic so far, but 2 wickets in the space, I think, of 5 balls has really gone and, I guess, drawn us back into this game a little bit. We're about 2 for 33 from memory, and I think Hilton House picked up another one too. So 8 down now, the Queensland Bulls are for 202, and you'd have to say game over. You'd have to say Tassie are going to get there, and now the edges are coming into play. Just when we've still got the field spread. That one, if we had, it probably was going to about, you know, probably where that man is there. Probably, you know, a 3rd, maybe a 4th slip, or even a close-in gully is where it would have gone to. But you can't have that. Not at this stage of the game. Especially with the tail enders out here. Ben Cutting, he is a dangerous, dangerous guy. You know, when he is, I wouldn't say in form, but when things are going his way, he can be a very devastating batsman. I mean, he bats up majority of the time. I think 8 possibly is a little bit low for him in one-day internationals. He's one of those, well, no, 8 probably isn't too low for him. I think in T20 cricket, he's one of those guys that probably should bat in the top 6, just because he is explosive and he can go and obviously score you some quick runs. We're going to appeal for an LBW there. No point reviewing that one because it is going down leg. Bit of a wasted, not a wasted review, a wasted appeal would be the word that I'm looking for there. That one there is a bit better, but again, too close on the pads, and it has been whipped away for the single. So 3 singles off the over so far, and we are, you know, we are just about there. We're just about done and dusted. I think we're going to bowl the last couple, which for us is pretty good, because it does mean we can pick up some wickets. It could be a run out here. If it was the direct hit, it would have been close. The dive, I think, may have saved Big Luke Fieldman. I think he is actually a police officer in his second job. Or is that another guy? There is definitely a guy who plays, I think, I can't remember which club he plays for. He plays for one of the T20 franchises, and he is a policeman as his daytime job. But Jackson Bird finishes the job. Tim Payne getting the man of the match for his 93 not off 111. And we finish with 2 for 37 off our 9 overs, so that's not too bad. We make a successful return to the Ryobi Cup, the 50 over tournament, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you Australians call it now. You change the name of it every couple of years. But Tassie win by 48 runs, and what a perfect way to start off the week. Anyway, guys, do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links to that can be found down below in the description. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We have got more Foot Draft Round 2 coming your guys' way. Make sure you don't miss that.